Tell us about the two indictments, to use the American term, one against Paul Manafort, who was briefly Trump's campaign manager, and the other against a volunteer named Sam Papadopoulos, if I'm right. Tell me a little bit first of who those people were in a nutshell, and then what the charges were, because especially with Paul Manafort, it actually has nothing to do with Trump's campaign, does it?
No, it doesn't. And, here's the two interesting takeaways, if I could sum it up succinctly, Ezra, is that the Manafort indictment, with the understanding that Mueller's mandate, as you've described him, is to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 election and any possibility that there was Trump campaign collusion in it. So that's the big frame of what Mueller is supposed to be doing. So we have these two cases, as you say. Manafort, who is someone who's really been central to Mueller's investigation from the beginning, is someone who we expected charges to come down against. So the interesting thing with respect to him is that the charges against him, while certainly serious as to him, have absolutely nothing to do with the 2016 election, Russia, or Trump. And then the second case, George Papadopoulos, that case does have to do with collusion. And the interesting thing about that is that if you read the special counsel Mueller's description of the offense that was agreed to by him and Papadopoulos' counsel when he pled guilty, there's collusion on every page. It goes on for about 14 pages. And they're talking about setting up meetings potentially between Trump and Putin. And this guy's meeting with someone at the Russian foreign ministry, and he's meeting other Russian officials or at least making contact with them. So there's collusion pouring off every page. What Mueller has him plead guilty to is one count of a false statement to an FBI agent in an interview. In other words, a process crime. And what I would underscore from that is something that I've been trying to argue for over a year now, which is that collusion in and of itself is not a crime. You and I are colluding by having this conversation. It's just concerted activity, no matter how sinister somebody tries to make it sound. Prosecutors don't care about collusion. They care about conspiracy. And a conspiracy is an agreement to violate a particular criminal law. And the problem with this investigation from the get-go has been that they don't have that. And they don't seem to have any prospect of getting it. That is, some complicity in the Trump campaign with Russia's actual cyber espionage, this hacking into Democratic servers. In fact, Papadopoulos' case seems to point in the other direction. There's a description in there of how the Russians tell him that they've got these thousands and thousands of emails of Hillary Clinton's that they hold out the possibility of potentially sharing with the Trump campaign. We don't know whether that's true or not. It doesn't appear that there was any such sharing that ever happened. But to me, the important point is, logically, if the Russians have to tell the Trump campaign that they've come upon all of these emails, then that necessarily means the Trump campaign didn't have anything to do with the acquisition of the emails, which is where the crime would come in.
That's an excerpt from my daily TV show, The Ezra Levant Show. Normally it's behind a paywall, but I thought you'd like this video, so we put it on YouTube. If you want to subscribe to watch the daily show every day, including always 2 interviews a day, and I read my hate mail, just click on this screen and become a premium member.